Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of our World Cup 2026 daily podcast. I am Arthur, and sitting right across from me, already deep into her spreadsheets and data models, is my daughter Nora.
Hey everyone! Dad, you can tease the spreadsheets all you want, but excitement is the only word that matters today. The World Cup has officially kicked off, the ball is finally rolling, and the tactical data is flowing in. The energy is just off the charts.
It certainly is. And I couldn't help but feel a tremendous sense of nostalgia during the opening ceremony. Just like in 2010, Mexico and South Africa were the first two teams to step onto the pitch and get this global festival started. And to top it off, we had Shakira performing again. From Waka Waka to Die Die, I must say, Shakira has still got it. She hasn't missed a beat.
She really does have that timeless energy. It was the perfect bridge between past tournaments and the present day, but once the referee's whistle blew, it was strictly business on the grass. Let's talk about that opening match. Mexico took it 2-0 against South Africa.
A classic curtain raiser, truly. The atmosphere in the stadium was absolutely electric, a roaring sea of green, white, and red. Mexico really controlled the narrative of the game. South Africa seemed a bit nervous, and their keeper, Williams, had to react sharp early on to thwart a very dangerous Mexican chance. An unforced error led to the opening goal for Mexico, and later on their ill discipline cost them the game with those 2 red cards for Zwane and Sitole. And the sheer drama of the goals, Quinones getting the opener, and then Jimenez. My word, that was a spectacular strike to seal it.
It was visually stunning, but the underlying numbers completely back up Mexico's total dominance. Quinones didn't just score, he came incredibly close to a second, only denied by the woodwork. If we look at the expected goals, or XG, Mexico was generating high-quality chances consistently throughout the 90 minutes. South Africa's red cards completely skewed the pitch geometry. By the end, Mexico's shots on target per 90 metrics were off the charts, and they were generating big chances at will. The data shows it was a tactical masterclass, not just a lucky break.
Pitch geometry. I always love how you describe the flow of the game, Nora. For me, it just looked like Mexico had an extra man, which, well, eventually they had 2. But let's look a bit closer at El Tri. How are they setting up for the rest of this tournament?
Tactically, Mexico is fascinating right now. They are utilizing a very fluid formation, pushing their fullbacks incredibly high to overload the wide areas. Their expected goals and expected assists per 90 show they aren't just relying on individual brilliance. It's a systemic, high-pressing approach. They want to suffocate the opposition in the final third. It is a very modern, aggressive setup designed to maximize their expected goals on target variant.
If Mexico can maintain this level of intensity without burning out in the group stages and keep creating those high-quality chances you mentioned, I genuinely think they have the spirit to reach the quarterfinals this year.
I definitely wouldn't bet against them with those underlying metrics. But speaking of grit and individual brilliance, Dad, you always say modern stats can't measure a player's aura. Who is the legend of the game we are diving into today?
Perfectly segued. When I watched Jimenez strike that spectacular goal, it immediately made me think of players who possessed pure, unadulterated magic. I'm talking about the late, great Diego Maradona. For me, he remains the greatest attacking midfielder Argentina has ever produced. He didn't just play the beautiful game, he bent it entirely to his will.
I've obviously seen the highlight reels from '86, and his numbers for big chances created would have been insane. But I was born way too late to watch him live. What was it actually like to see him on the pitch? Was it just his dribbling, or was there something else that the raw data wouldn't capture?
It was the absolute fear he struck into the opposition. I remember when he would get the ball near the halfway line, the entire stadium would collectively hold its breath. He had a low center of gravity, incredible balance, and this fierce, almost Street Fighter mentality. That goal in Mexico '86, navigating through half the team, it wasn't just a goal. It was a statement of sheer defiance. He had his flaws, certainly, but his passion for the shirt was unmatched. You simply couldn't take your eyes off him.
That is amazing. I suppose you really can't put a metric on defiance, though I bet his expected goals on target variant would have been completely broken by today's standards. But stepping away from the pitch for a second, this tournament is already delivering off the grass too. Did you see the epic drone show before the match? It is going completely viral right now across all platforms.
A drone show? I thought those were reserved for the Olympics or science fiction movies. I suppose it's a bit flashy for my taste. I still prefer the organic roar of the crowd and a good traditional brass band echoing through the stands.
Oh, come on. It was visually spectacular, and the internet is buzzing with other amazing storylines too. The Norway squad is going viral for wearing retro shirts from their youth clubs during warm-ups, which is such a brilliant nod to their roots. Plus, the overarching narrative dominating my feeds is The Last Dance for legendary players like Messi, Ronaldo, and Modric. The social media sentiment analysis is just off the charts with respect and nostalgia.
Now that I can deeply appreciate. Honoring where you came from with those youth club shirts, that is pure class. And the thought of Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Modric taking their final bows, it truly is the end of a magnificent era. I might not understand all your internet memes or sentiment analyses, Nora, but I love how this tournament is bringing the whole globe together to celebrate these legends and share in the positive sportsmanship.
Exactly. The global connectivity this year is unprecedented, and the vibes are so positive. So, looking ahead to the upcoming fixtures, what is catching your eye on the schedule?
Well, the one match I have absolutely circled on my calendar is South Korea taking on Czechia. It is going to be a fascinating clash of styles. You have the disciplined, highly technical European approach going up against the relentless pace and endless energy of the South Korean side.
The stakes are massive, right from the jump for both of them in their group. South Korea's pressing metrics and interceptions per 90 are going to be a huge, persistent test for the Czech midfield. We definitely need to watch this one together later as a family.
It is a date. I will make the snacks and bring the stories, you bring the heat maps and your expected goals charts.
Deal. And that brings us to the end of episode 2. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. We love sharing this journey with you.
Indeed. Thank you for joining our family football chat. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode, where we will thoroughly dissect the South Korea and Czechia fallout. Until then, keep enjoying the beautiful game.